discover the incredible story of the Queen of Sheba and her visit to King Solomon. I am Makeda, the Queen of Sheba. I was ruling my prosperous kingdom in southern Arabia when I heard of Solomon, the great king of Jerusalem, renowned for his unparalleled wisdom. His fame had spread to distant lands, and my curiosity was piqued. How could one man possess so much knowledge? I decided I had to see it for myself. Having heard of King Solomon's wisdom and splendor in distant lands, I decided to undertake an epic journey to Jerusalem to meet this renowned man in person. The stories that reached the lands of Sheba about the king's fame were truly astonishing. His wise and just judgments, his unparalleled knowledge, and his unmatched wealth aroused an uncontrollable curiosity in my heart. So, gathering an entourage worthy of a queen, I prepared for the long journey across scorching deserts and towering mountains. I prepared my caravan laden with gold, precious stones, and spices, and traveled to meet him. I wanted to test his wisdom, so I prepared riddles and difficult questions. When I arrived in Jerusalem, I was received with great honor. As I entered the gates of Solomon's kingdom, I was immediately enveloped by an atmosphere of grandeur and wisdom that hung in the air. The walls of the palaces shone with the brilliance of precious stones, while the gardens exuded the fragrance of the rarest spices. With each step I took through the corridors adorned with magnificent tapestries, I felt closer to the immensity of knowledge and divine blessing that covered that place. As I approached Solomon's throne, I could contemplate his majesty and perceive in his eyes the flame of intelligence and benevolence. His voice echoed like a powerful whisper, revealing ancient secrets and predictions of the future. I was received with respect and humility, as an equal in dignity, and I found myself before not only a king, but a being illuminated by the grace of heaven. In that sublime moment, I understood that Solomon's greatness went beyond material riches. It was his wisdom and kindness that truly made him a unique and venerable leader. Throughout our meetings, Solomon answered all my questions with a wit I had never seen before. I was impressed not only by his intelligence, but by the peace that existed in his kingdom. It was clear to me that he was blessed by a higher power. I recognized Solomon's greatness, but he was also fascinated by my intelligence and the splendor I had brought from Sheba. Our mutual respect grew, and it was an encounter that was not limited to material exchanges. We shared knowledge, culture, and wisdom, creating deep bonds between our kingdoms. After witnessing the grandeur of Solomon's kingdom, I was able to witness the king's wisdom in action. On one of the most memorable days of my visit, I was invited to attend a royal audience, where wise men and commoners sought advice and justice. Solomon's wisdom was manifested in extraordinary ways. As he listened attentively to both sides of a dispute, he spoke words that penetrated to the heart of the matter, revealing an insight so profound that it could only come from a direct connection with the divine. His decisions transcended mere human discernment, reflecting a universal understanding of the laws of life and morality. Every word the king uttered echoed with absolute truth, illuminating minds and hearts with its clarity and justice. I marveled at Solomon's ability to see beyond the obvious, bringing to light solutions to the most intricate dilemmas. That experience made me realize that wisdom does not lie solely in the accumulation of knowledge, but in the ability to apply it with compassion and discernment for the benefit of all. As I marveled at Solomon's wisdom and magnificence, I could not help but also contemplate the riches and prosperity that flourished throughout the kingdom of Israel. The opulence of the palaces, adorned with gold and silver, reflected not only material grandeur but also the king's care and zeal for his people. The verdant fields stretched as far as the eye could see, abundant with crops and exotic fruits that satisfied stomachs and gladdened hearts. The markets overflowed with spices from the ends of the earth, brought by caravans that crossed inhospitable deserts in search of aromatic treasures. The voice of the people echoed in songs of joy and gratitude for living under a kingdom where abundance and peace reigned supreme. It was in this setting of splendor and abundance that I understood that Solomon's true riches were not limited to the gold that glittered under the scorching sun, but rather to the spiritual prosperity of a kingdom unified by the justice, wisdom and benevolence of its wise sovereign. During the days I spent in Jerusalem, each conversation with Solomon revealed a new facet of his wisdom. He was not just a king surrounded by wealth and power, but a man who understood the mysteries of life, nature, and the hearts of people. I challenged him with more questions, some that many men in my kingdom could never answer, and yet he continued to amaze me. One evening, as we stood in the palace gardens under the stars of Jerusalem, Solomon spoke to me about the God of Israel. He told me how this God had given him wisdom and prosperity, and how everything he possessed was a reflection of this divine grace. I listened attentively. In my heart, I began to sense that there was something extraordinary about the God he served. But what truly brought us together was our mutual respect. Solomon, though powerful, never treated me as an inferior. He saw in me an equal, a sovereign who ruled with justice and wisdom, just as he did. Our conversations were more than just exchanges of ideas. It was as if our minds and spirits were in tune, dancing in harmony. Before he left, Solomon presented me with rare treasures, and I presented him with the best of Sheba. But the greatest gift we took from that encounter was not material. It was the understanding that, amid all our wealth and power, true value lay in the knowledge and wisdom we shared. When I returned to my kingdom, I took with me not only the riches of Jerusalem, but a new worldview, one that would influence my life and the way I governed. The legend that we had a son together, Menelik, would echo for generations, and he would carry on the legacy of both Sheba and Israel. Even after so many years, I still remember the sparkle in Solomon's eyes, the weight of his words, and the wisdom that brought us together. The history of Sheba and Jerusalem would never be the same again, for our lives were somehow intertwined forever. As I bid farewell to the kingdom of Solomon, after days filled with enchantment and learning, I carry with me memories that will warm my heart for the rest of my days. It was in the alleys filled with exotic aromas, in the halls adorned with the purest gold, and in the wise words of King Solomon that I encountered not only a just and prosperous sovereign, but a human being whose inner light illuminated everyone around him. As I observed the harmony and opulence that permeated the kingdom of Israel, I understood that the true essence of wealth lies not only in the accumulated treasures, but in the loving care given to subjects and the commitment to fostering an environment of peace and prosperity for all. I leave Jerusalem with gratitude in my heart and the certainty that this visit transformed not only my view of power and wisdom, but also touched my soul deeply. If you were also moved by this incredible story of the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, leave your like, share the video and subscribe to the channel for more biblical content. I hope you enjoyed following my unforgettable experience with the wise Solomon. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories here on the channel. See you in the next video.